Do you remember the first song or record that made you think, I could do that for a career?
Oh, I don't know. There were lots of them. I absorbed so much music from the age of 10. You know, I was sort of music obsessed. It was in the days, of course, before computers and computer games and all the stuff that distract people nowadays. I mean, people of that age, early teens and so on, were obsessed by music, and I was certainly one of them. But I can't remember which song in particular, but I remember hitchhiking from Newcastle, where I was a student, down to London to see the Stax Roadshow. And that was my kind of road to Damascus, where I saw Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, Booker T and Steve Cropper and all these great musicians who made all those great records in Memphis. And they were all touring together. And not only was it great songs played brilliantly, but they kind of danced around. There was so much energy and vitality, and the sort of thing that you find later on from Chic and people like that, you know, who just love being on stage. And it was so infectious. And I just thought, I would love to do this, you know. I'd already dabbled with, I was dabbling with playing in a band at that time. And I was torn between painting and music. What should I do with my life, you know? I love the world of art, but I also love the world of music. And I thought, I'm going to give this a shot because I thought I can always paint later on. But I think for now, I want to really give it a shot. And I did. When I graduated, that's when I started writing the songs and putting together Roxy music.
Those famous clips of Roxy on Top of the Pops and the Old Grey Whistle Test in 1972, what did your family say when they first saw you on the show?
I think they're just amazed, like most families would be, to see one of themselves on television, you know. That was the thing. And I think when I told them I was going to study art, they thought that was pretty mad. But then when I started doing music, then they were pretty amazed by that as well. And but I think when they saw me on television, they thought, oh, well, maybe he can do this. So it was probably a sigh of relief for them.
And did they see a transformation of the Bryan they knew to this star?
Probably, but we never really talked about it very much, to tell you the truth. So occasionally my mother would, a few years later would say, oh, you should get a record out, you know. There's nothing out there at the moment. But, very encouraging. And my dad didn't know much about it at all. He was never a musical person as such. He was very much a nature boy and just liked being out in the fields or wandering around, you know. But my mother was more of a city person and liked music and liked show business and all that kind of thing.
Do you like show business?
I think I do, yeah. Yeah, because I like cinema from a very early age as well. My mother used to live very close to have you ever seen a film called Cinema Paradiso? Well, I was that kid for a while. Yeah, in the sense that my mother used to make tea and sandwiches for the projectionist in the local cinema. And so we had free access. And so I used to go and remember climbing up this ladder to see all these films, and the wooden seats. I used to also sit in the cinema for free, so I got to see all kinds of movies from a pretty early age, and I was very much kind of. I think it had a big effect on me, really. The glamour of it all. Coming from the Northeast, which was pretty kind of in those days, it was pretty simple and. It was quite brutal, the weather and so on, and it wasn't very sophisticated, you know. And to see things on the screen and later listening to music and then getting interested in art, it was a different kind of world, you know.
So movies and music were a passport to somewhere else, and you made sure you used it.
Very much so, yeah.